And welcome back to Straight Talk for the final portion of the show. And again, this time we're going to be talking about what was going on roughly 20 years ago and what's going on today in terms of the powwow here in our community.
We're on Wednesday today.
Mm-hmm.
And the powwow starts Friday.
Friday night.
Social.
Yeah, the traditional social.
I can't wait to get an Indian taco.
I like the walleye nuggets myself.
Yes, and it's like my yearly fix of walleye nuggets at the powwow. So I hope it really doesn't rain or is like wretchedly hot out like it is right now, because I'll probably be like sitting at one of those picnic tables like trying to eat.
Melting.
I think we can take the heat. It's the rain. You know, they have a bad record when it comes to doing the powwows. I don't know what it is.
I wonder what the stats are. At least like 50-50.
Yeah, they get at least one day. If not two, they get at least one day of rain. I was looking at the temperatures. It's going to continue from today to then, but then it's talking about thunder showers on Friday and Saturday, but maybe it won't last long. They're supposed to have fireworks commemorating the 20th anniversary of the Oka crisis, and that's a big thing for the community. We're hearing a little, like, some talk about it, but it seems like not as much as like you would think in 20 years, because it was
such a monumental.
It was such a big event.
Event.
You know, negative as well as positive. You know, a lot of positives came out of it, but a lot of negatives have come out of it too.
Right. And I think a lot of people are still traumatized to a certain extent.
Yeah, you know what?
You know,
deep down, I still have
resentments.
Yeah, resentments. You know, and it's hard to get over, and it's not always, you know. But as long as I don't watch any of the videos, any of the videos, I'm all right. Yeah. As soon as I watch it, it brings back too much memories, and you know, what were your memories of it?
Well, I was only 6 months old.
I'm showing my age.
I didn't have any memories, but like you said, like, I've watched all the videos and I've read about it and anything for school. Like, I don't know how many essays I've written about it.
Living them was tough.
And you lived it, and just, I haven't really, like, I don't have memories of it, but it still angers me.
Yeah.
And you know, it's people at my age, that some people who aren't even born yet, and it still angers them.
My perspective was a little bit different, because I was living in Montreal at the time, and I was commuting back and forth to work, and I was commuting at first on the boats, you know, back and forth, and finally at one point it just got to be too dangerous, and I ended up staying just on the outside to you know, to be able to get to. I had stuff that I had to take care of, so it was kind of like, I call that like my lost summer, because I just remember seeing from the perspective of the outside media what was going on inside, because a lot of times the phones were jammed. We weren't able to, you know, phone in, and my whole family, you know, my immediate family was all here the entire time, and I was just like, I was a wreck on the outside, watching what was going on, and like I said, one leg in, one leg out at different times, but it was, I still have resentments, and I definitely don't like to watch some of the films that were made, especially like Rocks at Whiskey Trench and a few others.
I think that somebody should do a documentary now. You know, and talk to
20 years later,
and talk to some of the people who were part of it. You know, they talked about a lot of it, and you know, in a lot of those documentaries, and it was well done. I mean, I thought that it depicted what actually happened, and you know, it wasn't one-sided, and which was good. There was a lot of you know, I guess, traumatic situations that happened during that time for a lot of people. You know, it's I was with the ambulance at the time, and I was running the ambulance, and I was trying to train our staff on doing the triage in the event that something happened big, because the Army was coming in, and you know, we had to change all our whole train of thought on how things are going from a regular situation almost into a war situation, and how can we deal with that, And then if you looked at some of the things that were happening at the Legion, they had pictures up of helicopters and planes on how to take them down and stuff like that. And you know, it got to like a real war situation where it was an us against them type of, and that was the tough situation for a lot of people.
It was surreal.
It was, you know, and it was tough because a lot of like my older son, his age, a lot of them were on the lines, you know, and every night, you know, they had guns. They didn't know if somebody was coming, and it was tough, you know. For them, it was harder. I guess now growing up, they probably feel a lot of that. But the older ones, you know, but it was with all that though, it was quiet. It was very, very quiet in this community. You know, you could drive down the road. There was no cars. You know, you can drive all over. Outside of the community, people were going crazy, especially at night. It was ridiculous. And that's where, a lot of times at barricades, we were laughing at them because they were beating each other up, and it was stupid. But, you know, and then trying to get stuff by water and things like that. And, you know, I'd like to do a show just on, like a round table show, just on that, about, you know, what happened to individuals that, you know, that weren't covered in the documentary, but that were there. A lot of emergency services. The police had a tough job.
Right.
Because you know what they actually were doing? The one barricade for outside of the community had spotlights shining towards the community, and in our community we had spotlights shining the other way, and the police were in the middle. And you couldn't see anybody on either side, one way or the other. You could hear all this noise, and you had to sit there. It's like, now what? If something happens, you're getting it first, and you're like, what the hell did I sign up for this for? You know, it's like, I mean, not to mention all the other crazy things that happen. But you know, the powwow. Go to the powwow. It's you know, the 20th anniversary of the Oka crisis, and it's a big year for them. You know, they changed the grounds a bit, they elevated it, and hopefully they won't have to worry about it. But it's good that it's high as long as nobody falls off. You know, but it's
yeah, I'm sure it'll you know, they make improvements every year, but it's just something to be proud of in the community, bringing people together. At the very least, to get your Indian tacos and your walleye nuggets. Family
and friends that you haven't seen for a while, that, you know,
strawberry
that are from
juice.
other communities. Or...
It's my excuse to get my non-native friends to come here.
No, it's always a lot of fun too.
But you know, a lot of people think that you know, that they were afraid for a while, but now you know, they come, and when it's nice out, you can't move around this community. There's traffic jams all over, and it's fun. You know, it's fun, and it's crazy at the same time. But to bring people in and to see what's going on, and especially in that area, because that's where all the helicopters landed, and you know, the Chinooks, and a lot of stuff happened on that island. And
but I think, and I got also the whole idea behind, you know, what the powwow was supposed to signify was us coming together and being peaceful and celebrating the fact that we were still here. You know?
We're a sleeping giant.
Yeah, we're a sleeping giant. Echoes of a Proud Nation powwow.
Don't miss it. You know, get there, get all the good
Saturday and Sunday, I think the grand entries usually start at noon.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure on that, so don't quote me. But around that time, I just usually hear the call of the drums from my house, and I head on out to the island.
We'll probably be back next week or in the next 2 weeks anyway. In the meantime, have a good, nice
weekend?
Weather powwow weekend. You know, don't eat too many tacos. And you've been watching Straight Talk. If you have any questions or comments surrounding this show or any other show, you can email us at mohawktv@hotmail.com. Or you can email myself at michaelstalksenior@hotmail.com, or call us at 450-632-NEWS. That's 450-632-6397. Yawa and Onigiwai.
Ana.
Ana.